Hi everyone, welcome to this instructional video that will show you how to fill out the Phase 2.5 Monitoring Waiver / Renewal Application. The Monitoring Waiver / Renewal Application can be found in the ANR Online portal following the link in the description down below. Links to most compliant forms can be found within the Water Quality Monitoring website, which is also linked in the description down below. Once you've signed into the ANR Online portal, you can search for the form using the search bar. The form is titled Phase 2.5 Monitoring Waiver / Renewal Application. Once you reach the form, review the instructions. The instructions contain important information that will help you determine if your water system would qualify for an inorganic chemical, synthetic organic chemical, or volatile organic chemical testing waiver. If you have questions about your water system situation, please reach out to the division staff using the contact information on the right side of this page. If you want to proceed, scroll down and enter the water system ID for the water system that you're trying to fill out the application for. For this example, we'll use 20567. If you get an error saying that the WSID is invalid, please ensure that you have an approved subscriber agreement on file. Any questions about the subscriber agreement can be directed to the ANR Online Services email address, which is linked in the description down below. Then you can click Begin Form Entry. The first page contains water system information which will pre-fill depending on the WSID entered in the landing page. The water system information includes the WSID, the water system name, the town the water system is located in, the contact information of the administrative contact, and the water system operator. The contact information displayed is what the division has available in the water systems files. If the contact information displayed on the form needs to be updated, simply click on the text box and update the information. It is important to note that updating the contact information on this form will not update the contact information in the division's files. To formally update the water system's contact information on file, you must submit an official contact form. For more questions, please reach out to the division using the contact information in the description box down below. The next question asks if this is a new application or a renewal for an existing application. For the purpose of this example, we'll assume that this is the first time that the water system is applying for the waiver, so I select New Application. The last question of this section asks that you select the type of waiver that you are submitting the application for. In this case, we're applying for all the waivers at once, so I will select all options. And now we can hit Next section. The waiver information section will first ask about the water system source protection plan and testing history. Section A asks if the water system has a source protection plan that has been updated and approved within the last 3 years. If you're unsure if you have a current and approved source protection plan, you can look up your source protection plan update status and see the reported date by clicking on this link, which will take you to the Drinking Water Search database. For this example, we will presume that the water system does have a source protection plan that is less than 3 years old, so we select Yes for this question and report that it was last approved on February 1st, 2023. Section B focuses on volatile organic chemicals or VOCs. To be considered for a VOC waiver, water systems must meet the following conditions. If after reviewing the requirements, you want to proceed with requesting a VOC waiver, then continue by answering the questions below. Have there been any detections of VOCs in your water system? For this example, I will say no, there have not been any detections. Note that if you select yes, a text box will appear where you'll have to provide more information on the detected VOCs. For groundwater systems, the VOC waiver must be renewed every 6 years, and for surface water systems, it must be renewed every 3 years. Section C focuses on synthetic organic chemicals or SOCs. To be considered for an SOC waiver, water systems must meet the following conditions. If after reviewing the requirements you want to proceed with requesting an SOC waiver, continue by answering the questions below. Have there been any detections for SOCs in your water system? For this example, I will say no, there have not been any detections. Note that if you select yes, A text box will appear where you'll have to provide information on the detected SOCs. The SOC waiver must be renewed every 3 years for groundwater and surface water systems. Section D focuses on inorganic chemicals, or IOCs. To be considered for an IOC waiver, the water system must have submitted results for a minimum of 3 compliance samples, including at least one sample taken after January 1st, 1990. If you want to proceed with requesting an IOC waiver, then continue by answering the questions below. Does the water system have at least 3 previous compliance IOC samples, including one taken after January 1st, 1990, that is representative of the same sources? For this example, I will select yes. The water system has 3 previous compliance samples that are representative of the same sources. Note that if you select no, a text box will appear where you'll have to explain why the system does not have 3 compliance samples. Once the section is filled out, you can hit Next Section to move on to the Review section. The Review section will give you the opportunity to review the form to confirm the form is populated completely and accurately prior to the certification and submission. Once you're satisfied with the form, go to Next Section, which is the signature page. In this section, you will digitally sign the form and submit it. For the purpose of this example and because I'm an internal user, I can skip the signature portion. The certified statement comes up, and I click Submit Form. You can click on the View Submission button to take you to the submission page where you can check the form status and submit corrections if requested. This is the end of the instructional video. If you have any questions or concerns about the Phase 2.5 Monitoring Waiver/Renewal Application, please reach out to the Compliance section. Thank you.